Hello friends and divine beings, my name is Bobby and welcome to Cosmic Coaching. Here we hang out and talk about positive mindset, manifestation, elevating our mindset, and so much more. And today I have a really special and interesting topic that I really feel compelled to share with you guys. And I actually I wrote this out in a blog, and then after I wrote it out in the blog, I just felt like I really wanted to share this in a video as well, because I feel like this is very helpful information. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is conscious unfriending. So what is conscious unfriending? Have you ever had a friendship where you've been really, really good friends with someone, and it's someone that you really care about? They've been there for you through good times and through bad times, but things happen in your lives that push you apart and you're no longer in alignment with that other person. So maybe you've changed, they've changed, you've grown, they've grown, but for whatever reason, your lives no longer align, and it's to the point where you're unable to remain friends with that person. You need to take a break. So I want to share a story with you to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about, and this is going to help me explain what conscious unfriending is. So bear with me. So I had a lifelong friend, and we're going to refer to her as Jane. It's not her name. We're going to respect her privacy. But I had a lifelong friend. I met her in the second grade, and we were literally friends for like 35 years, I think, something crazy. Now, Jane and I were incredibly close friends. We grew up together. We've traveled together. We have children that are 3 days apart. Like we're literally like BFFs together. Like she was the one person that I could always count on, always trust. Whenever I was in a jam, like she was always there for me, and vice versa. Like just like a sister, really like a sister. Like I love her like a sister. I still have love for her. I totally love her. However, things started to change. I have been on this spiritual journey now for quite some time, and a lot of my outlooks changed, and there are things ethically that I used to be okay with that I'm no longer okay with. And I'm not going to get into like specifically what it was, but basically our lives just very much drifted apart. And remaining friends with her, where I was remaining in contact with her, I was hearing a lot of like stories or situations that were going on in her life with herself or people that she knew, and it bothered me. And it wasn't, I'm not going to say like what happened was right or wrong. It's just what was happening bothered me, right? It began to impact me emotionally, having these conversations with her, because I would internalize a lot of what she said. I would relate it to other things in my life that were triggering, that had like nothing to do with her, some other things, and it just, every time I talked to her, it would bring all of this like stress and anxiety, and I would feel sick all the time. And I was just struggling with it, and just, it was really impacting me. And the more I thought about it, I realized I can't do this. Like I can't maintain this friendship anymore, because it's like killing me. Like when you see someone you love doing things that, where you worry about them and it doesn't matter what you say or do, they're going to continue those behaviors, it can get really difficult to watch that person go down that road. So I was really struggling, and I knew I needed to take a break from the friendship. I just needed to step away. I needed to clear my head. I needed to take some time. And this is when I discovered this idea of conscious unfriending. So what I did was I talked to my friend, and I explained to her what was going on, how I was feeling, and it was one of the really important things that I did was I used I statements. So when I talked to her, I wasn't accusing her of anything or blaming anything on her, because it's not her. It's my choice that I don't want to be around that, and it's not my job to tell her whether her life is right or wrong, or I agree or I disagree. That doesn't matter, because I want to be respectful, because this is a person who I have genuine feelings for, and I genuinely care about. So the whole idea of conscious unfriending is not about like hurting people and like having a fight and then that's how you end the friendship. It's trying to end a friendship the most ethical way possible. And so with conscious unfriending, what we do is we use I statements, and we say, when this happens, when we have these conversations, I feel anxious, I feel nervous, I feel stressed, I feel fear, whatever I was feeling. And so I explained to her all of these things. Like, this is when this happens, I feel this way. Not when you do this, then you make me do this. No, it's, you had to watch that, because it's not about blaming and saying you make me. It's about I feel, I interpret it as this, I experience this, right? And then letting the person know, like gently telling them what's going on and letting them know, I need to take a break from this friendship. I love you, I respect you, but this isn't working for me, but I respect you enough that I want to come to you and I want to tell you, and I want to separate from you or have a break in this relationship for myself. And conscious unfriending can be permanent or it can be temporary. I mean, maybe someone's just going through something and you just aren't about that, but maybe they come out the other end and everything's great. Conscious unfriending doesn't mean that you can never go back and be that person's friend again, but it gives you an ability to kind of put a pause or a pin in a relationship in the most kind and empathetic way possible. This can also work for romantic relationships as well. So if you're seeing someone and it's no longer working out and you don't want to like ghost the person, you want to have that integrity and you want to just be honest and open with them, then the technique of conscious unfriending is very useful. Now, some things to mention: anytime someone is told, I need a break from you, that's hard to hear. So people aren't always going to react, like, oh, okay, that's fine, thank you, have a good life. Some people might get really emotional and they might be like, hurt and surprised and stunned and have these emotions. And that is okay. Allow the other person to go through those emotions and have those emotions. Because if someone did the same thing to you, you would have a reaction. Allow that person the grace to have that reaction so that they can process, because they need to process through their own feelings too. You have the advantage of, you knew this was coming and you've processed through your feelings. They haven't had that luxury. So I would just anticipate that there is a possibility that they may react emotionally, and that is okay. It's important for you to remain unemotional and calm. You can be empathetic and you can be kind. When I say like non-emotional, I don't mean like you are just cold and you don't react to them. You can show them empathy. But it's important to not get sucked into like a spiral of like a fight conversation that goes down. So from my experience with my situation, she needed some closure. And so she was upset, and there was some communication that kept coming in that was getting a little, it was getting really emotional. And so it's just reiterating, I'm sorry that you feel this way. Your feelings are valid. I completely understand. It's that empathetic, right? We don't want to say like, oh, I'm sorry if you feel hurt, because that's not a genuine apology. We want to be empathetic to their needs and what they're going through. So, but you don't have to get sucked into that like spiral. So you can say, I need a break. So I would appreciate it if we could like pause communication for a little bit so we both have time to process. And then you need to adhere to that. So even if they're like reaching out or responding or whatever, do not respond. Don't let it affect you. Don't let it get escalated. Don't get sucked into a fight. Because the whole purpose of this exercise is to try as amicably as possible to end that friendship or that relationship. I think that this is kind of a unique take on ending a friendship, because I think most people are so quick to just react or to be hurtful or to be right. I'm right, you're wrong, I don't want to be your friend anymore, kick rocks. It doesn't have to be that way. There's always different perceptions. And so two opposing things can be true at the same time. And so maybe their truth is true to them, your truth is true to you, they just don't line up. And that's okay. It's not that one of you is right or one of you is wrong. It's just that this isn't working for you right now. And you have the right to step away. We don't have to stay in relationships that don't serve us. We don't. And if you choose to end a friendship, you're a bad person. And none of that is true. We need to do what's best for ourselves and for our own mental health. So I hope that you found this video helpful. If you have additional questions about conscious unfriending or specific situations, you can leave it in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to answer your questions or help you out if you have a specific situation. I am a transformational life coach, and I do offer one-on-one coaching sessions, and I also have workshops and programs on my website. So my website is www.consciouscoaching.net. You can check that out if you are looking for one-on-one transformational life coaching. I will also link all of my social media down below, just in case you want to follow me or check me out. If you are interested in reading the blog that I wrote on unconscious friending, you can find that on my website as well. I want to thank you so much for joining me. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed and you like this and you want more content like this, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload new content. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.